I don't know how I did it. I made it through, and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it through. This is my testimony. I made it through, and I don't know how I did it. I made it through, and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it through. I believe you also have your own testimony. Woo! You made it through, and you can't tell how you did it. You made it through, and you can't tell how you did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how you made it through. Woo! Upstairs, are we together? You made it through, and you don't know how you did it. You made it through, and you can't tell how you did it. But one thing I know, I don't know whether you know too, Jehovah took it over, and that is how you made it. Did we? Did we? Did we? Did we? We made it through, and we don't know how. Woo! We made it through, and we can't tell how we did it. But one thing we know, woo! Can you say that again? We made it through, and we don't know how we did it. We made it through, and we can't tell. But one thing we know, Jehovah. Give him glory. And I don't know how I did it. I made it through, and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it through. I made it through.
I made it through, and I don't know how I did it. I made it through.
Come on, sing.
And I can't tell how I did it.
But one thing
I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how
louder.
I made it through.
Oh, I made it through.
I made it through, and I don't know how I did it. I made it through,
And I can't tell.
and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over,
And that is how.
that is how
But one thing I know,
One thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it.
woo, I made it through the storms, through the fire, through the wilderness, and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it through. I made it through the storms, through the fire, through the wilderness, and I can't tell how I did it. But one thing I know, Jehovah took it over, and that is how I made it through. Come on, say,
I made it through,
woo!
and I don't know how I did it. I made it through,
And I
and I can't tell how I
but
did
one thing I know,
But one thing I know,
Jehovah,
Jehovah took it over,
and that is how.
that is how
Come on, shoot it! I made it, I made it, I made You can do better than that. Are you sure you made it through? Louder.